Started. Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Twilley. I'm the director of the Women's Business Center here at Maryland Capital Enterprises. And actually, our regional director was supposed to be doing the presentation today, but he is out sick. So at the last minute, I'm going to jump in and hopefully it won't be, it'll all go well. It should. It is a lot of slides and a lot of information, but thank you for joining us today. Just to give you a little bit of information about Maryland Capital, who we are, what we do. We're a nonprofit based here in Salisbury, and we also have an office in Baltimore City. We cover the entire Eastern Shore of Maryland, Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Arundel County. And we assist entrepreneurs that are getting started in business or already in business and trying to expand. We do business consulting, marketing consulting, training classes such as this. And we also do micro and small business loans, which we'll talk a little bit more about as we go through. I didn't mention we have been around since 1998. So we've been here quite some time in Salisbury and then Baltimore since 2012. So we're excited about that. Also, our websites here are listed. But if you guys don't need to take notes, to let you know, if you have questions, just put them in the chat. And then at the end, we'll go through all the questions. Hopefully, we will have more people join us as well. So let's go to the next one. Talking about us being a lender, we are an SBA intermediary micro lender, a U.S. Department of Treasury intermediary micro lender, a lot of words, USDA micro lender, State of Maryland, DHCD, and Department of Commerce micro lender. And as I mentioned, we provide counseling services, training, assistance with business plans, and lots more. So the question is, are you ready to start your own business? There's lots of questions when it comes to this. This slide I actually started to take out because it's kind of depressing. And I'm a very positive person. I always look at the glass half full. So, but it's a statistic and we do, just like to make you aware. So 30% of all new businesses fail within the first 2 years. 50% of all new businesses fail within the first 5 years, and 80% within the first 10 years. So it's just something to be aware of and know that have all your ducks in a row and, once you get everything organized so that this doesn't happen to you. Alrighty, let's see. So definitely when you're starting a business, you want to have, you're going to have thorough planning, creativity, and hard work. What's happening? It's deleting something instead of what, there we go. My arrow wasn't working. All right, so reasons to start a business: to increase income, to express a special talent or interest, to move beyond the hobby stage, to be your own boss, to work flexible hours, and develop another career. So you got to think about what is, your reason for starting a business. When it says move beyond the hobby stage, we actually do a training on that where Donna, if you want to tell them a little bit about that, the 2 classes we have.
Sure, we have 2 classes. One is taking your side hustle, to a small business. I forget what it's called.
It's hobby to a side hustle. Is the
hobby
first
to
one.
a side hustle and side hustle to a business.
Yeah.
And it's done by Jim Peterson, who's a wonderful, wonderful vice president at M&T Bank. And basically, he goes through all the steps that are necessary if you have a small business that you're running out of, say, your home, and you really want to look at taking it to the next level. And both of the, it's a duo, 2 classes, and it really is an excellent sort of primer on how to do that.
Yep. All right. Thank you. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, no, no problem.
And then 20 questions before starting. Why am I starting a business? What kind of business do I want? What is my ideal customer, or who is my ideal customer? What products or services will my business provide? Am I prepared to spend the time and money needed to get the business started, which it does take a lot of time and money? What differentiates my business idea and products and services from others in the same market? Where will my business be located? How many employees will I need, if any? Because some you might just be you, and that's it. How many or what types of suppliers do I need? Like, where are you going to get your inventory from? How much money do I need to get started? So that's something we're going to address a little more later too when we talk about cash flows. More questions? Will I need to get a loan? How soon will it take before my products and services are available? How long do I have until I start making a profit? Who is my competition? How will I price my products compared to my competition? How will I set up the legal structure of my business? This is where you're going to decide, is it going to be a sole proprietorship, a partnership, a corporation? So a LLC, a limited liability corp. So those are things that you will decide depending on the type of business you're going to be in. What taxes do I need to pay? What kind of insurance do I need? All businesses need liability insurance. Depending on if you're going to have employees, if you do, you're going to need workman's comp insurance as well. How will I manage my business? Are you going to be the one managing it? Or are you going to have somebody doing that for you? How will I advertise my business? So we're going to talk about more of that later. So 10 steps to start a business. Before I say that, I see we have one other person join us, or maybe a couple of people joined us. So I don't know if you missed in the beginning. If you want to add any questions in the chat, we're going to go over those at the end. We'll have time for questions. So, and also you're going to get a recording of this, so you don't have to worry about taking a lot of notes. You'll get the whole recording. I don't know if I mentioned that. But first of all, you're going to need a business plan. All businesses, whenever you're starting a business, you definitely need a written plan. It's just kind of like your roadmap for your business. It's a working document that's continually going to change as you grow your business. So, but it's good to have whether you need it for financing purposes or just to have as a guide. Get business assistance and training, like through resources such as us. And I'll give you some other resources as well later on in the slides. Choose a business location, finance your business, determine the legal structure, like we talked about, whether it's going to be a sole proprietor, LLC, a corporation. Register your business name, register for state and local taxes, obtain business licenses and permits. And you can do all this through the Maryland Business Express, which Bunky is going to put in the chat for you, the direct link. Once you go to that, I would get very familiar with that site because you can do so much and it takes you step by step through the whole process. Gives you lots of information. So I would definitely check that out. Understand employer responsibilities and find local assistance. All right. So understanding your market, this reduces business risk. Determine if there's room for a marketplace for your type of business. So you want to make sure that there's not too much competition for that kind of business in your specific area. Every area is different. But those are things you're going to have to research through Google or through different sites, which I think I have another slide that talks about that more. Spot current and upcoming problems in your industry and identify sales opportunities. All right, business data and statistics. This is what I was getting ready to talk about, the internet search. So just finding out who your competitors are, who your competition is, what they offer, the target customers, are you all trying to reach the same person and are people, and who that is, what they look like, what their profile looks like, meaning is your target customers between 18 and 40, or is it 18 all the way up to 80, whatever that looks like for your type of business. Researching industry publications, you can get a lot of information from those as well. So like if it's a lawn care business, look at different publications for lawn care businesses to keep up to date with current trends and information. Government websites, chambers of commerce. I always am an advocate for the chambers of commerce because becoming a member is, they offer so much to members for small businesses. They help you with the marketing if you're a member, help you with a ribbon cutting, get you exposure. So I'm just advocate for them. Trade organizations, local, regional, and national assistance as well. Am I going too fast, guys? Am I good? Everybody good? All right. So special business types, this I'm just going to mention a little bit about, if you have a business that's considered a veteran-owned business, or, for example, a women-owned business, there are certain certifications that you're eligible for that can help you get, it could be grant funding, it could be like a women-owned small business that allows you access to certain contracts through the state and federal government. So, minority-owned business, if you're a woman in business, you're a minority. Some people don't realize that. Women don't realize that. They think, it has to be African-American owned or Hispanic or something like that, but it doesn't. You're still considered a minority if you're a woman. So there are different certifications you can get that can help you get access to those government contracts. So that's a whole nother workshop in itself. All right, advantages and disadvantages. So what are a few advantages and disadvantages for owning your own business? So pros, be your own boss. I like this one, cannot be fired. Income determined by your own efforts. So what you put into it is what you're going to get out. Doing what you love, helping others provide for their families and creating jobs. And then cons, working long hours, financial risk, may go without income for a while until you really start making money, making a profit. May need additional education and training, like through the type classes that we have and other resources. You may not be able to take vacations, trouble finding time for yourself, and you have a lot of bosses. And some people are like, well, why do you have a lot of bosses? Well, that's because your clients and your customers are really your bosses, since you're providing products or services to them. So what you need to make it. Do you have the necessary skills? What kind of experience with or knowledge of products and services that you plan to sell do you have? So that's something you really want to think about. If you're starting and you're going to start a salon and you want to sell products in your salon, you need to have some knowledge of the products that you're selling, of course. So just keeping that in mind, that goes with any industry. Where will you find the help and knowledge you lack? What business management experience do you currently have, if any? And can you effectively recognize and solve problems? So, like, for example, if you don't have any business management experience, a good idea would be to get a mentor, maybe somebody in the same field that you're in that could possibly mentor you. We try to do that here. If we know of a salon owner, somebody's trying to open a salon and we know someone that we think would be willing to help mentor a business owner, then we try to line them up and make that happen. All right, this is a little chart that you can go back and fill out when you want to. just asking you questions like if you're prepared, will you be bootstrapping, providing your own finances? Um, do you have these qualifications? Professionalism, good communication skills, networking, time management, money management, and understanding credit. Um, Definitely make sure that you are aware of your credit and your credit score, because even if you go to get a loan for your business, you're going to need to know that, and you're going to need to make sure if you have anything that's on your credit report that you get that cleared up before you even go to apply. And you can go to the different sites and get a free credit report like Credit Karma, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. All of them offer free credit reports. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And even personally, at least doing it once a year. So, all right. And do you have the resources? So this is just going through as far as the money. Do you have the money you need, or will you be borrowing it as far as a loan, or do you have family or somebody that's going to be a partner that's going to be doing, pitching in for that? Furniture, fixtures, equipment that you might need for your office or your business, the inventory, suppliers, office supplies, business cards. These are all expenses that will also go on your a part of your cash flow projections that we'll talk about in a little bit. Licenses, insurance, and as I mentioned earlier about insurance, you definitely have to have liability insurance, possibly workman's comp if you have employees, your location. And then this is your small business checklist. So first you're going to choose your business structure. And again, that is whether you're going to be a sole proprietor, partnership, corporation, LLC. You're going to want to select and register your business name, registration forms, and taxation. We talked about that Maryland Express website that I think, Funky, did you put that in the chat?
I did.
Okay, great. Check your county and local zoning requirements as well. That's something you're going to have to contact your local courthouse to do, depending on the type of business you're trying to open. But it's always good to check to make sure you're not missing anything or don't need any like a certain local license for the type of business. Business insurance, banking. I always like to tell people that be sure that you keep your funds separate. You're going to want to have a specific business account set up, like a business checking account set up, business savings account set up. You're not going to commingle your funds between your personal account and your business account. Definitely stay away from that. And then what type of bookkeeping system are you going to use? Are you going to use just start out with a spreadsheet, which is what a lot of people do in the beginning, and then as their business grows, they go on to another system, like it could be QuickBooks, it could be Xero. I know there's a new one, or fairly new. It's new to me anyway. It might have been out there for a while. It's called Wave, and that one is actually free, and I've heard good things about it. So I want to check that out more myself. So once your business grows, you're going to need a more than a spreadsheet, but it's okay to do that in the beginning. As we talked about, analyze your credit, develop your business plan, which we're going to go into more detail, and create your cash flow projections. All right, so business plan is a blueprint of your business. Like I said, I think I called it a roadmap, but so what should that contain? A business plan definitely needs to clearly describe your business. It should demonstrate your understanding of your industry, your target market, your competition, and what will make your business special. Like what's going to make you stand out. You want to definitely talk about your niche and how you're going to stand out compared to your competition. When you're writing it, you're going to consider your audience. Just like the resume, it's a good idea to tweak your business plan depending on, who's reading it. And definitely put a lot of detail into it, leave out no detail, it says, so definitely want to, you're selling yourself in this plan, because usually when you're using it, a lot of times you're using it to apply for a loan, so you want to definitely make them believe in you and your business, and so that's why you want it to be detailed. Your executive summary, that's really what you want to focus on. That's your opening presentation or your elevator speech. Like I kind of did at the beginning about MCE, who we are. It's really, that can be like a 5-minute pitch to somebody, but when you're putting it in your business plan, you want to elaborate, definitely in your executive summary. Telling you, why you think it's a good idea, the details of your business, how it's going to work, how it's going to run day to day, why you think it's going to succeed. And then part of that business plan is a marketing plan. This is where you're going to describe your industry, your target customer base, like we talked about earlier, your competition, what's going to set you above your competition, what you're going to do that, your costs and your pricing, how you're going to get the word out there about your business, whether it's social media, which is mostly, that's a huge thing now. Are you going to do advertising on the radio, TV? How are you going to do that? So you're going to put that in there. And then organization and operations. You're going to describe your business, how it's going to operate on a day-to-day basis, where you're going to be located, legal form, which is your business structure, management structure, employees, like, are you going to, there's going to be you as the owner. Are you going to be doing the day-to-day operations and managing the business? Or are you going to have a manager to do that? And then any emergency or contingency plans that you need to have set in place. For example, COVID-19 plan. A lot of businesses aren't ready for something like that to happen. And now that it has, they have a contingency plan set up for things like that. So it's always good to have and be prepared for an emergency. Your financial plan, how much money you will need for your startup, and where are you going to get it? Are you going to provide half of the money yourself and then borrow the other half, or do you plan on having a partner that's investing? Just explaining that, what you're doing with the money, how you're getting it. You're going to estimate your income and expenses and project a cash flow situation for the next 2 or 3 years, which is our next slide. Cash flow projections, what are they and why do we need them? So this is just showing the expected amounts of money that will come into a business along with what will go out as expenses. All right, why do we need them? So we definitely need them if we're applying for a loan. SBA loans, definitely. I know we require them, banks require them. So it's definitely a planning tool. It shows the difference between the profit and the cash flow, the daily cash flow. And it shows what you can take as an owner's withdrawal. Like if you're making any money enough to take a paycheck yourself. Because some businesses, it takes a while to do that. Once they get established and making some money, then the owner makes a withdrawal. All right, so cash flow projections. This is definitely a part when somebody asks for the business plan, they're definitely going to want to see these. It's a living document that will change over the life of your business, just like your business plan, as I said earlier. These are projections, and they are not likely going to be accurate because it's kind of a guessing game. I mean, you know what your fixed expenses are going to be, but you're kind of projecting what you think your sales are going to be over that 2 or 3 year period. So that's why we say we definitely know it can change. Be realistic, and even if you will do better than your projections, just kind of, keep in mind, don't project like something crazy, like I'm going to make 200,000 per year, I mean, just kind of keep it within reason. And you know, we're here and there's other resources here to help you with these as well. Make sure to include income stream and expenses. You'll need to account for accounting, marketing, advertising, insurance, taxes, all that's part of it. We actually do a separate workshop on cash flow projections, so I would definitely recommend attending that as well. I know Donna and Nick do that workshop. So we'll have that coming up probably in February. If not, it'll be in March. So do your sales change month to month depending on the season or your business, or is your business steady all year? That's going to determine what you put in there as well. Any loan or loan payments and other financing is also part of your cash flows. And if you're paying yourself, you're going to want to have that in there as well. All right, 5 things to remember when applying for business capital. Don't quit your day job. So you want to make sure that just because you're starting your business, you're not just going to stop work and then have no income coming in. You want to be able to show that you have income coming in, so to show that you can pay your loan back. You're definitely going to need that. You'll definitely need an accountant. Like I said in the beginning, when you're doing keeping track of your sales, a spreadsheet is fine, but you're still going to need an accountant and to get advice from them. We're not accountants here. We can help you with cash flows, but it's, you know, nothing to do with the taxes. We don't give any kind of tax advice or anything like that. So that's definitely something you want to seek from an accountant. Other resources, I have a whole list coming up, so I'll show you that slide in a minute. And put your money in the bank, all of it. Lenders like to see deposits. You need to present a positive but accurate position of your situation. Again, this goes back to, can you pay it back? So that's, they're looking at everything when you're getting a loan. And no business is an island. You know, entrepreneurial ventures are dependent on their community. And like I said earlier, chambers of commerce, local charities, Rotary are some examples of people that give back to the community and network for your business. So, or you can get out and network with to promote your business, is what I'm trying to say there. All right, here's the resources. I kind of got jammed up at the top, but of course, Maryland Capital Enterprises and the Women's Business Center here. Some of these, Enoch Pratt Free Library, I believe that's in Baltimore, correct? Donna? Yeah, okay. So some of the free libraries, you can find resources there. Your local economic development centers, chambers of commerce, Maryland Department of Commerce, Maryland Small Business Development Center, Operation Hope. I'm going to let Donna say a little bit about them.
Operation Hope is a nonprofit. They're actually across the United States, and they work with folks in classes. So you actually go through a group, as a group, through a series of classes, and you graduate working on your business, your small business idea.
All right. Small Business Administration, SCORE. SCORE, they basically do the same things as a Small Business Administration and that we do. They help with business plan, business consulting, and they're basically the same as us, except we offer loans and they don't. Local universities such as Salisbury University and Morgan State. Local business organizations, Downtown Partnership, Main Street, SBRC, and SBDC, which I believe we already mentioned SBDC. So, and I'm sure there's more that we probably forgot to list. Just want to mention before we get into questions, Our next free webinar we have coming up is next week, LinkedIn for Beginners, 6 to 7:30. And we do have basic business finances coming up, part 1 and part 2 in February. So just go to our website for those. They'll be actually on there this week. So by the end of this week. And now, what kind of questions do we have? Can you see anything in the chat, Funky?
There is nothing in the chat so far. Not as far as questions, so.
So if there's nothing in the chat, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me any questions. I know, you know, it's a lot of information. It's a lot to, like I said, it's a lot of questions that you're asking yourself. Well, we just kind of, some of those you might not have thought of, so we like to make you aware of them. But feel free to unmute yourself if you have anything.
Good afternoon. This is Rosa Rodriguez here with Franklin Rodriguez. Question, is there like a template for business plan? Something that we can use to kind of get ourselves started? We never
Yes.
reading a business plan before.
Yes, there is. We have a business plan template that we can send to you. There's lots of free templates online as well. So if you find that ours seems to be too detailed, or you don't like it as well, you can also look online for a free plan. So we'll definitely send it to you. If you can, I didn't see you on here, Rosa.
But I have her,
You have her email. Okay,
Yeah,
so Bunky
yeah.
can send that to you.
Okay, thank you.
What county are you in?
Wacamico.
Oh, okay, good. So if you need our assistance, just reach out to us. We would ask you to become a client, which is free to become a client. And then we would meet with you either via Zoom or in person if need be. But we would talk to you about how to get you started. Basically, we usually tell you to just try to start putting your thoughts on paper, doing like a rough draft, and then we look at that, and then we go back and forth, you know, and give you advice and tell you what you need to add, what you need to change, or take out. So, you know, we kind of just get you going that way. You know, if we find that you need a lot of time spent on it, then we also may refer you over to Small Business Development Center, since they do, you know, that's primarily what they do, where we also do the loans. So they spend a little bit more time on that as well. So
Okay, super. Thank you. Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Anybody else? Another free resource I'd like to add is the Baltimore County Public Library. We have Carly joining us today, and they're another resource that we also do some of our classes in partnership with. So thanks for joining us, Carly.
Yes, happy to be here. This was a great overview. So yeah, I'm really glad I could attend. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Any other questions?
One other website, Lisa, if SBA.gov, they have a lot of the tips on starting a business. They have sample business plans. They just have a lot of information out there, and it's very worthwhile reading that type of information too when you're starting a business.
We'll have to add, this is our first time, we used to
Yeah.
do this online. It was a self-paced class. We used to do it in person, then we went to an online version, and we've been having problems with that. So we started doing, this is our first time doing it. So we're thinking as we go. So a couple of these websites we need to add to our PowerPoint here. But I'm glad you mentioned that, Bunky, because they have the Ascend program as well on the SBA.gov website, which you know, takes you through a step-by-step process as well, with lots of great information on getting started, on the business plan, just different aspects of the process, getting started in business. So that's something that's a free resource as well.
When I send out the recording and the slides, I can put some of those on the email.
Great. That would be great.
We do have a question in the chat.
Okay,
It says, do you have to build business credit before you can get a loan for your business? Or do you have to be in business for 3 years before a bank will loan you money on your business?
Donna, I'm gonna let you answer that one. Since you mostly deal with the lending.
So do you have to build business credit before you can get a loan for your business? The short answer to that is no, in the sense of a lot of loans will be on your personal credit. Our loans in particular are on your personal credit. So they're not backed by your business credit at all. So we actually do lending to new and existing businesses, and other CDFIs will also loan to businesses for new businesses as well, and banks will as well. It's just a little bit more challenging.
Mhm.
Generally the bar needs to be set a little bit higher, so your credit needs to be a little bit higher, your collateral needs to be a little stronger. So that's generally how. Do you want to add anything, Lisa, that I forgot?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and each institution is different as far as their requirements.
Yes.
We know our requirements, but we don't know, unfortunately, each bank's requirements. So that's something you would have to just check into. But like Donna said, I would say that I always describe it as a bank is more black or white as far as what you need. You have to have this, 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 and this, and you can't have this, this, and this. Where we have a little more gray area to work with. A lot of times people go to their bank first. They might get a better rate, and we want them to do that. And then if they get turned down for some reason, then they come to us and we see if we can help them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I hope that, does that answer your question?
Anyone else? Any more questions?
Hi, this is Rosa again. I have one more question.
Okay.
Are any of this webinar offer in Spanish?
We do not have that yet, but I'm hoping to get there. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that this year. So, it's in the works. We're working on it.
Okay, thank you.
Is it for other friends of yours, or was it hard for you to understand us?
No, I'm fine, but my husband,
Okay.
he's the one trying to do his business. And,
Yeah, so I'm
his
gonna
English is a little bit
work
limited.
with someone at the college to see about doing that, at least if we could get it in print, in printed in Spanish, that would be wonderful. And then we could send it to you that way. So we have your contact information. So when we get to that point, we can definitely send it.
Yeah, and I do have all the family members and friends that would like to open a business, and their English skill is very limited.
Okay, yeah. And and we're hearing that some. I can't think of the name of the place right now, but anyway, so definitely we definitely want to get some of our our information translated into Spanish so that we can offer it, because the Hispanic community has definitely grown a lot. I know here on the Eastern Shore anyway. I'm not sure about the Baltimore area, but definitely here. So yes.
We
Thank you for
we
asking.
definitely have a need for it too.
Yeah.
I see that Carly's written something here though that she might want to announce about the Baltimore County Public Library.
Hi, yes, sorry for doing self-promotion here, but just because the question was brought up, Rosa, the Baltimore County Public Library offers a 7-week course, and it was replicated off of our Entrepreneur Academy, which was started in 2019. But we also realized that there aren't a lot of business-related classes offered in Spanish, so we worked with a few different Maryland-based organizations to replicate Entrepreneur Academy in Spanish. We offered it for the first time last year, and we're going to be offering it again starting in March. So it's 6 or 7 classes, but it covers business strategies, market research, taxes and finances, marketing, I don't know if I mentioned that, and then the business plan. So if you're interested, that information will be on our website. I'll put that in the chat too, in case you want to read more about it. Probably in February, starting in February. So if you know people interested, please let them know.
Are the classes online?
Yes, sorry, that's a great question. These are virtual classes, and they'll likely be on Tuesday evenings. That's not confirmed yet, but I believe Tuesday evenings are going to be the days of the classes.
Wonderful. That's great. I'm glad you brought that up, Carly.
Thank you. Yeah,
And
thank you.
all the information that
Thank
you
you.
have for marketing purposes, send it to me so that we can share it for you.
Oh, thank you. I definitely will. We'll have a flyer shortly.
What'd you say? You
We'll
have a
have a-
flyer shortly?
Yeah, we don't have it yet, but once I get the flyer, I'll email it to you. Thanks, Lisa.
Great. Yeah, definitely. That's exciting. And I'll put it in the newsletter and all our social. So we'll get
Oh,
it out there.
thank you so much. Thanks.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? So be on the lookout for the cash flow workshop. That we'll try to do that in February. If not, it will be March, but I'm going to try to make it happen in February. And then we will be doing this class monthly. So if you want to join again or have friends that you want to send our way, please do. Also, if you'd like to join our newsletter list, that way you're aware of different events we have going on, workshops, any other thing happenings locally. We try to include some of that stuff in our newsletter as well. So be sure to sign up for our newsletter, and you can do that right on our website. We have two websites actually, marylandcapital.org and then the Women's Business Center at marylandcapitalenterprises.org. That's a long one. But yeah, you can register for either of the newsletters there. And I just had something else I was going to say and I forgot it that fast. Well, I'll think of it, but Marvin will be sending out this presentation, so you guys will have it. And if you have any questions, contact, I don't know if I put my contact info in there, but I will. And you guys put yours. Did you put yours, Donna? Donna is in our Baltimore office, so if you,
Yes, I did.
okay, so if you're in the Baltimore office, you can reach out to her in the Baltimore area, I mean. And there's my email. And so you can either reach out me or Marvin here locally and we can assist you. We will be happy to. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us today. You have a good day. We'll see you
Thanks.
next time, hopefully. See you, Donna.